In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the top 5 best coaches right now in NBA 2K23 My Team, because I feel like people don't realize that coaches are actually super valuable and super important to have on your squad. And then at the end of the video, also give you guys some budget options that are going to be very, very good coaches. But as you guys can see, if we go over to the awards tab and we go to domination, you are going to get 3 amethyst coaches for completing the 3 dominations. I'll just quickly show you guys which dominations those are. So if we look at the golden age, that is going to be for Lenny Wilkins. If you complete the modern age, or you get to 33 stars, you will get Greg Popovich. And then once you complete the NBA champions one, you will get amethyst Phil Jackson. So those are going to be the 3 amethyst coaches from domination. Shout out to Mini though for getting those coaches, obviously, and obviously grinding out domination. But looking at the awards here and just looking at those coaches, I'll quickly show you guys what they do give. So looking at Phil Jackson first, he's going to be triangle, obviously +4 for an amethyst. We got a +4 perimeter centric for Lenny Wilkins, and then we do have a +4 balance for Greg Popovich. A little bit weird why Greg Popovich isn't for defense, but in my opinion, I think the 5th best coach in the game is most likely going to be this Lenny Wilkins card. So if I quickly show you guys what stat upgrade he does give, if we go over to the team, and you guys can obviously already have Lenny Wilkins selected. So what you can do to see the stats is if you go to I think it's if you go to adjust minutes, you can actually see the stats right here. So for a point guard, Lenny Wilkins is going to give a +4 ball handle, +4 3-pointer, +4 mid-range, +4 perimeter defense, and +4 driving dunk. So that's going to be really good for your guards to obviously boost up that ball handle and perimeter defense. It's going to be about the same thing for your shooting guard, giving that 3-pointer, mid-range, perimeter defense, driving dunk, and ball handle. If we look at the small forward, it's also going to be the same as well. Now where it gets a little bit different is going to be for your power forward. You can see Kevin Garnett. He's going to get that rebounding 3-point shot, perimeter defense, offensive rebound, ball handle, and driving dunk. And then for your center, he's unfortunately not going to get speed on perimeter centric, but he is going to get that 3-ball. So it is going to be nice to have a lot of centers to give that +4 3-pointer. But in my opinion, I think the speed coaches are going to be a lot better. So for me, I would say Lenny Wilkins is going to be the 5th best coach in the game. Now talking about the 4th best coach in the game, there is a couple different options and there's a lot of people you could go to. We could talk about Phil Jackson, who I actually just want to quickly show you guys what he does give, because he's the only coach in the game I do believe that has the triangle system. So it's a little bit different than most people. So if we go to the adjust minutes, you guys can see for a guard, it's going to give a +4 interior defense, a +4 3-pointer, defense consistency, which doesn't really matter too much. So honestly, for guards, he really doesn't give that many great stuff. Does he give anything good for power forward? I mean, he gives okay stuff for power forwards and centers, but I don't think the triangle offense is very good in 2K. Really like the system and what it honestly gives for you. I don't feel like it's going to be the best in 2K. It doesn't really give the best stat upgrade. So I would say Phil Jackson, probably not going to be somewhere in my top 5. Like I said, number 5 though is going to be Lenny Wilkins. Talking about number 4, there's a couple of different guys you could go to. Like you could look in the East, for Eric Spoelstra. If you're looking for defense, he's not a bad option as well, because upgrading your defense is pretty important in my team right now. So honestly, Eric Spoelstra is pretty good, but I think honestly, if you're looking for defense, it's probably going to be that Rodman coach. As you guys can see, if you do lock in for Rodman, he is going to give you +5 defense, and I feel like he probably is the 4th best coach in the game, because still defense is really important to have. Obviously, like yes, offensively could be a little bit better with speed for centers and obviously 3-pointers and ball handle and perimeter defense, but I feel like defense on a lot of cards is actually super important. So if I just quickly look at a defensive coach like the base Greg Popovich, I'll just show you guys what the stat upgrades are, and then obviously you guys can see, obviously you guys would know that they're going to be +5. So if we go to change coach and we look at the Greg Popovich, just Emerald 1 does give +2 defense. So just for example, this is going to be Dennis Rama we're talking about. He's going to be obviously +5 for these categories. So he's going to give +5 perimeter defense, +5 lateral quickness, +5 block, and +5 strength to your guards. So that's going to be really nice to have on the defensive end. It's going to be about the same for your shooting guard and your small forward as well. Power forward, it's going to give perimeter defense, defensive rebounding, interior defense, and strength. So it's going to be really nice if you guys are looking to upgrade your cards defensively wise. If you're looking for more offense, that's where you go for like a Lenny Wilkins or the next 3 guys we're going to talk about. But honestly, I think Dennis Rodman, the diamond version, is going to be the 4th best coach in the game. Now talking about number 3, we're going to go to one of the best coaches in my team, and that is going to be the diamond Monte Williams. And I feel like a lot of people do have him as their coach selected. But if we do look at the upgrades he does give, if we go to the guards, he's going to give a +5 3-pointer, +5 ball handle, and that +5 speed is what makes the massive difference in my opinion, especially when we talk about the big man. But +5 speed is super nice to have on pretty much every single player. It's basically like perimeter centric for like a Steve Kerr or Lenny Wilkins, but then he also does give this speed as well. So for me, I feel like he's the 3rd best coach in the game. He's also going to give that +5 speed to your center and your power forward. So like if if you're running a Yao Ming, that means you can get Yao Ming a +5 speed, right? If you're running these cards, they can get a lot of speed upgraded, and that is going to be super nice to have on a Yao Ming card or just any center or power forward in the game that might be a little bit slower. That +5 speed is going to make a ton of a difference. So for that reason, I do think Monte Williams is going to be the third best coach in the game. Talking about number 2, I think it's going to be fairly close between number 2 and number 1. You could even make an argument that Monte Williams could even be better than this next coach we're going to talk about. So what you guys have to do to get this coach is you have to lock in all the coaches from the East set, all the coaches from the West set. So you're going to get Diamond Cream and Diamond Rodman, and then once you guys get those 2 coaches, you're going to be able to lock in for this pink diamond Jerry West. So he's actually going to give a +6. He's just going to be Lenny Wilkins, but everything is going to be a +6. So if I go over to the lineup management screen, we go down to the team lineup, you guys can see if I change the coach, or I'll change it to Lenny Wilkins, for example, right? Because we don't have, or Mitty doesn't have Jerry West. So +4 perimeter centric, it's going to be the exact same boost upgrades, except now it's going to be +6. And that +6 is going to make a crazy difference for like a center that can't really shoot. A +6 3 ball is going to be super nice to have. He's also going to give like +6 perimeter, +6, you know, ball handle, which is going to be really nice on guards. +6 3-pointer is going to be a huge difference for most players in the game. +6 ball handle, +6 driving dunk. So I feel like for me, I would say Jerry West is probably the second best coach in the game. And then guys, number 1 is the most obvious selection and one of the most overpowered coaches in the game that just did recently drop in season 5. If you guys go to your lifetime agendas and you go to the player cards, like the collector level for the player cards, once you guys get to 16 or 1550 cards, so 1550 cards, you will get this Galaxy Opal Don Nelson coach card. This man is absolutely overpowered. He gives you a +8 pace and space. So if you guys remember what pace and space was, that is going to be Monte Williams, but he's going to give a +8. So if we change the coach to Monte Williams and we look at the stat upgrades, you guys can see he's now going to give a +8 3 ball, +8 ball handle, +8 speed, +8 perimeter. Like speed, +8 speed is crazy to have on your center or power forward. Like Yao Ming's only got what, 78 speed, I believe. I think, or is that 78? I know, I think he's got 80 speed. So now with a +8 speed, he's going to have 88 speed without a shoe boost. And then if you also want to give Yao Ming a +4 speed shoe boost, which most people do have on the card, now you can get your Yao Ming up to 92 speed in game. Yao Ming's gonna have 92 speed. Like what the hell? Like KG, you can pretty much max out his speed. So if you guys do have those player cards and you have Don Nelson, you can pretty much max out any card speed in the game, which is absolutely unreal to have. And overall, I think it's pretty obvious that Don Nelson is going to be the best coach in the game. So just go over the top 5 once again. My number 1 spot is going to be the Galaxy Don Nelson. Not even a debate. Like he's levels and he's just way better than any other coach in the game. Number 2 is going to be the Jerry West. If you go down to your collection, you do have to lock in the East and the West collection, and then you do get the pink diamond Jerry West. In my opinion, I think you can be the second best coach in the game. Number 3 is going to be Monte Williams. He's just a worse version of Don Nelson, but still going to be really good, especially for his price tag not actually being that expensive anymore. Like he used to go for 100,000, now he's like around 50,000 MT, so really not that expensive for still a top 3 coach in the game. Number 4, I do think is going to be Dennis Rodman for locking in the East collection. He's a very good defensive coach and going to give you a ton of upgrades for the defensive side of things. And then number 5, I do think is probably going to be Steve Kerr or Lenny Wilkins. Doesn't really matter because they're the exact same thing. So you guys can see +4 perimeter centric is going to be the same thing as if you go down to the West collection and you look at Steve Kerr, he's also going to be a +4 as well. And now to talk about some budget coaches, because those are going to be my top 5. I think Steve Kerr is the first guy I wanted to talk about for a budget coach because he's only going for about 20,000 MT, and to get a top 5 coach for only 20,000 MT, I feel like that's pretty solid. Jason Kidd, if you're looking for more balanced, I think he's not bad for 10,000 MT as well. So a lot of these amethyst coaches, I feel like everybody should be having on their team. Like if you want to go for a defensive one, just like Dennis Rodman, you can go with Eric Spoelstra. He's only about 10,000 MT, and he's just going to give you basically what Dennis Rodman gives you. So I think, you know, these amethyst coaches are going to be really good for their price. I wouldn't even go for the ruby ones. Like if we look at, that's a sapphire, but if we look at like the ruby Mike Malone, like I personally wouldn't go for the ruby Mike Malone because you can see he's about 7,000 MT for a +3, and you can go spend an extra, what, 4,000 MT, 3,000 MT, and get yourself a Amethyst air exposure that's going to be a +4. So just go pick up yourself an Amethyst coach if you guys currently don't have one. Obviously, if you're like running low on MT, you could obviously look for like a Sapphire one, but just make sure you guys are saving up and look for like an Eric Spoelstra, you know, a Jason Kidd, a Steve Kerr. Those are definitely going to be the best ones in my opinion. Then obviously, if you guys can save up for a Monty Williams, he is going to be really nice to have and probably the best, or is the best coach that you can actually buy off the auction house. But hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Just want to give you guys an updated top 5 coaches list, with obviously that Galaxy Bull Don Nelson did drop in the game. And let me know in the comment section down below, do you guys have this Galaxy Bull Don Nelson? And let me know if you guys are going to be going for it, because he honestly is really worth it if you guys are somewhat close to that 15,000 or 1,550 cards. If you guys are close to that, I do think it's definitely going to be worth getting. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about my top 5? And let me know currently, you know, what coach you guys are running right now in my team. But hopefully this video did help you guys out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.